Hey everyone, and welcome back to MA English. Get ready to level up your English skills because today's video is packed. We're diving into a real daily conversation. First, listen and test your understanding with our Q&A challenge. Then we'll groove to some awesome slang with captions for shadowing practice. And finally, we'll unlock the coolest new words you learned. So if you're ready to boost your English, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right in.
Try to listen.
Hey, Jamie. I just checked the weather forecast for this weekend. It's absolutely perfect for an adventure.
That's awesome, Alex. I've been craving a break from the city. What do you say about a trip to Blue Mountain?
Blue Mountain? I've heard the views are breathtaking. Do you know what time the train departs?
Yes, it's leaving at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday. And guess what? I already booked our tickets online.
Wow, you're on top of things. So, what's on the agenda once we get there?
I was thinking we could hit a popular hiking trail in the morning, then enjoy a picnic by the lake in the afternoon. Later, we could check out a local market in the evening.
That sounds like the perfect mix of adventure and relaxation. I'm all in for some hiking and local food tasting. Should we pack our own snacks or try the local delicacies?
Let's definitely try the local treats. I've read that a nearby mountain cafe is a hidden gem. Of course, we can bring a few energy bars for the hike, just in case.
Good call. I'm already excited about the trip. By the way, did you see if we need to bring extra cash? Or can we just use our cards everywhere?
From what I've read, most places accept cards, but it's always smart to have a little cash on hand, especially at the market.
Makes perfect sense. I can't wait for a weekend away from all the hustle and bustle.
Me too, Alex. It's going to be a refreshing break, and I'm sure we'll make some great memories.
Now it's time for our Q&A challenge. Listen to the questions, pause for 5 seconds to think about your answers, and then check the highlighted dialogue clips for confirmation. Where are Alex and Jamie planning to go for their weekend trip? They're planning a trip to Blue Mountain. What time does the train leave on Saturday? The train departs at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday. What activities did Jamie mention they would do in Blue Mountain? Jamie mentioned hiking, a picnic by the lake, and visiting a local market. What did Alex ask regarding money for the trip? Alex asked if they should bring extra cash or if cards would be accepted everywhere.
Try shadowing.
Oi, Sam, what's the crack, mate? You up for a proper belter this weekend?
Mate, you know I'm game. Bonfire night's coming up, and I'm buzzing for a bit of cheeky mischief, innit?
Right on. I was thinking we should hit that old field behind the manor proper atmospheric and all. Nothing beats the glow of a bonfire with a few sparklers and a load of fireworks, eh?
Bloody oath. That spots the dog's bollocks. Remember last year when we nearly singed our eyebrows off cause someone reckoned it'd be a laugh to set off a dodgy firecracker? Proper mental. But it's all part of the charm, ain't it?
Too right. And it's not just about the fireworks, mate. It's a whole vibe, the crackle of the bonfire, the whiff of toasted marshmallows, and a bit of old school banter about Guy Fawkes and all that jazz. I'm chuffed just thinking about it.
Absolutely. It's like a nod to the old traditions, but with our own twist. I'm planning to bring along my mom's famous toffee apples. They're proper lush crispy on the outside, gooey inside. You reckon they win over crowd?
No doubt, mate. Everyone loves a bit of nostalgia served with a side of sweet treats. And while we're at it, I'll rustle up some hot parkin'. Nothing beats a warm slice of tradition on a nippy November night.
You're speaking my language. And hey, how about we sort of cheeky little playlist? I'm thinking a mix of classic rock and roll and some modern bangers. Gotta keep the vibes lit all night long.
Spot on, Sam. I'm all for a bit of the old and the new. We'll have tunes that make you want to bob your head and laugh till you're knackered. And maybe even get a few of the lads to join in the sing-along, you know?
For sure, mate. I can already see it us gathered round the fire, swapping stories and having a right laugh. It's the kind of night that makes you forget all your troubles. Proper quality time, innit?
Exactly. And speaking of stories, I heard that old Mr. Higgins, the caretaker at the manor, used to be a right character back in the day. Supposedly, he'd regale everyone with tall tales about the old days when bonfire night was all about communal spirit and a bit of mischief.
No way, mate. That sounds like the perfect add on. We could even try to coax him into sharing one of his infamous stories. Imagine the banner back in my day. We didn't need these fancy gadgets to have a good time. Proper classic. That.
Haha, exactly. And if the night gets a bit too wild, we can always head back for a cheeky pint at the local boozer. Nothing cures the after firework, but like a cold one and some good old chinwag.
Amen to that, mate. And let's not forget, it's all about the memories. Whether it's laughing at a dodgy firework mishap or reminiscing about tales from the old days, nights like these are what keep a tradition alive.
Dead on, Sam. It's the perfect blend of heritage and modern slang, keeping it real while celebrating the classics. So, you in for the full Monty this bonfire night?
You know it, Charlie. Let's make it a night to remember, full of banter, beats, and a bonfire that'll light up our lives. Cheers to that, mate.
Hey everyone! In this segment, I'm going to break down some of the top tier slang we just heard in our bonfire banter conversation. Let's kick things off with crack. You've probably heard this word tossed around by Irish and British mates. It simply means fun, entertainment, or a great vibe. When someone asks, "What's the crack?" they're really asking, "What's happening? How's the fun going?" It's all about that lively, enjoyable atmosphere. Next up is belter. When we say something is a belter, we're saying it's absolutely smashing, top notch, brilliant, and a real treat. Imagine hearing that gig was a proper belter. It's a way of showing genuine admiration for something that exceeds your expectations. Moving on to buzzing. In our convo, Sam says he's buzzing, which means he's super excited and full of energy. It's that electrifying feeling right before you dive into an adventure or a fun event. When you're buzzing, you're practically glowing with anticipation. Now, let's talk about cheeky. This word is all about being a bit playful and mischievous without crossing the line into rudeness. Think of it as doing something slightly naughty, but in a fun, lighthearted way. Whether it's a cheeky grin or a cheeky snack, it adds a dash of spice to everyday life. Next on our list is dodgy. This is used to describe something that seems a bit off or untrustworthy. In our conversation, when we refer to a dodgy firecracker, it means it might be risky or unreliable. It's a casual warning to steer clear of potential trouble. Then there's the hilarious and iconic phrase, dog's bollocks. Despite its cheeky sound, this term is actually a high compliment. If someone says something is the dog's bollocks, they mean it's the absolute best, top quality, and impressive beyond words. It's one of those quirky phrases that really paints a picture. Now, let's dive into singed. This word literally means lightly burned. Picture yourself too close to a bonfire and getting a little crispy around the edges. That's being singed. It's a vivid way to describe a minor burn, often used in a playful context when recounting a wild night. Another fun term from our chat is mental. In British slang, calling something mental doesn't always mean it's insane in a negative way. It can mean it's wildly crazy or out there in the best possible sense. It's all about that unfiltered, energetic vibe that makes an experience unforgettable. Then we have chuffed. When you're chuffed about something, you're really pleased, delighted, or proud. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling of satisfaction when everything comes together perfectly. If you're chuffed after a night of epic banter, you're on cloud nine. Next, we come to rustle up. This phrase means to quickly gather or whip up something, usually food or an impromptu plan. In our conversation, when someone says they'll rustle up some hot parkin, they mean they're going to put together this traditional gingerbread cake in no time. It's all about resourcefulness with a dash of culinary flair. We can't forget knackered. This is the perfect word to describe feeling absolutely exhausted after a long, fun-filled night. When you're knackered, you're completely wiped out, just the way you feel after a bonfire night that's been off the charts in terms of excitement and activity. And lastly, the phrase full Monty. This means going all out or doing something in its entirety, no half measures. When we say, "Are you in for the full Monty this bonfire night?" we're asking if you're ready to commit to the whole extravagant experience without holding back. So there you have it, more than 10 brilliant slang terms that spice up our conversation and bring it to life. Each one has its own unique flavor and adds a bit of extra charm to everyday chatter. Start using these expressions, and soon you'll notice your conversations taking on a more vivid, authentic vibe.